One of the hardest truths feminines have on this journey is understanding that they are not going deep enough into the inner work. And I say this with so much love because I was once there. I used to do what I call scratching the surface of your healing, meaning like you're aware of your triggers, you're aware of your patterns, and you go just deep enough to create a little bit of change in your internal reality and a little bit of change in your external reality, whether that's in your life or your connection. But you don't go deep enough to actually release that pattern or imprint and start embodying a new way of being. And a lot of times on the twin flame journey, when the feminines awaken to this, they have a resistance to doing the inner work because let's face it is work. It feels like at times it's a full-time job. It feels like you turn around one moment, you're getting triggered, you turn around the next moment, you're getting triggered again. All the while not even finishing understanding why you were triggered in the first place with the other trigger, right? And I oftentimes see too that feminines think that like watching videos about twin flame content, tarot readings, and even understanding their patterns or intellectualizing their patterns, right, are all forms of healing. But that's not really healing. That's what I call surface level healing. And if this is resonating with you and it feels like I'm speaking your truth, then this video is for you. And for those of you that are new, I want to welcome you. My name is Melissa, and this is the Sacredness Within You. I created this channel to support the feminines who are on the twin flame journey because I know at times how challenging this path can be. It feels like we're inundated with so much information, some of it false, some of it really great teachings, and it's hard to find our own way. And a lot of times, too, some of us are navigating our journey from our brain when this journey is really meant to be navigated through our soul, through our intuition. And you have the perfect GPS system to help you navigate your twin flame journey in the way that you are meant to be. And for me, I want as many feminines to be able to honor that part of them and honor the uniqueness of their path, but also to ascend into becoming the feminine you're meant to be in this lifetime. And so today I want to dive into talking about not going deep enough into your healing, into the inner work. And I want to talk about some truths about this and why not a lot of people are talking about it. So first I want to dive into talking about what I see a lot in the collective. And I already talked about the beginning of this video, right? Like people just doing surface level healing, meaning you see the pattern, you get triggered by you get triggered by your twin, you're crying for days, you understand why it's there, but that's the depth that you go to. And when the women that I work with come to me, they know that there's a reason why they're being drawn to me because I'm here to help you remember. I want you to remember things about yourself. I'm here to be a mirror, to show you what is possible, to show you parts of you that you're unable to see, right? And a lot of times we're unable to see them. Sometimes we're unwilling to see those things. But when they come to me, a lot of feminines believe that they are truly, truly doing the work. And like I said, I was once there. My first 3 or 4 years of the journey, I truly believed I was doing the work. I did, because at that time, that's all I knew. I didn't know any different until I knew differently. And that's what I want to talk about today because when women enter into my field, my content resonates with them, right? Because it's helping you remember this part of you. It's helping you step into your knowing of this journey. And when I ask them, when I work with them one-on-one and I ask them, what does it mean to do inner work? Here's what I get a lot of the times. I hear they're consuming content to help them understand this journey. They're journaling about things like when they're triggered or why they're feeling the certain way that they're feeling. They're writing down their feelings, right? They're writing down their thoughts about why this is happening. They're saying affirmations of like, oh, I love myself, or my twin flame loves me, like whatever affirmations people will say. I'm not a huge believer in affirmations, and that's a whole another topic. But they truly feel as well that when their masculine triggers them by action or inaction, that they're actually resolving the pattern. They're healing a part of them. And yes, they are, but they're not completely completing the cycle. They're not completely completing the pattern and understanding truly what created it in the first place. So it looks like you're learning, you're becoming aware, and you're understanding your patterns. But your reality, your emotions, your behaviors aren't actually changing. And that's the difference between awareness and transformation. You can be fully aware of your patterns, fully aware of your cycles that you go through. But in order to completely transform, there is more work that you need to do. So I want to talk about awareness versus transformation. Awareness sounds like, I know I have an abandonment wound. I used to say that all the time. I'm like, I know I have abandonment wound. And it didn't end until I actually took the steps necessary to understand why I created this abandonment wound, why I experienced it, right? And to do the inner work required, the energetic release of it, and the lineage work that I had to do in order to clear this. It also sounds like I know that this is my inner child being triggered. But what steps are you actually doing to comfort, to see your inner child, to get down to their level and offer them the encouragement, offer them the support that they needed at that time, but they didn't? And are you taking your inner child by its hand and walking this journey with them? Or do you continue to abandon them? Or do you continue just to be like, oh, no, it's not a big deal? Where is it that you're continuing to repeat the pattern? And what is it that you need to do differently? It also sounds like I understand the runner chaser dynamic. I would be the chaser, my twin would be the runner. I hear that all the time. But true transformation, if that is what you're wanting in your reality, and then creating true transformation in your connection, you have to begin to start doing things differently. You have to, because you have to become aware and understand that what you're doing actually isn't creating the shifts that you desire in your life. First and foremost, your life, your path of ascension has to be the priority. And if you're not seeing shifts within your own ascension, your own reality, then it's a time for you to be like, something isn't working here. Something needs to change. And if something isn't changing within your connection, then you, as the feminine, have to be the one that makes the decision and says, you know what? I'm going to choose differently. I'm going to start showing up differently. I'm going to start doing things differently. I'm going to start honoring boundaries that I didn't have with myself. And so this looks like oftentimes to choose transformation, to do things differently, it looks like not chasing after your twin flame when you're feeling triggered. It's not spiraling when you can feel him pull away. It's choosing yourself in real time, looking in your life of where are you not choosing yourself versus putting others first, and where is it that you need to say no to others and say yes to yourself. It's regulating your body, your nervous system, instead of reacting or collapsing. Awareness is mental. It's all mental. And that's where people are intellectualizing their trauma and their wounds and their patterns. But true transformation goes beyond the mental level. It goes into the body and into the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is what runs 95% of our life. It's automatically done. We don't even have to think about it. I think, well, what do you do when you get up in the morning? Some of you grab your phone right away in the morning, you check your messages, you go on TikTok, you then get up, you probably make your coffee, get ready for the day, shower, brush your teeth, do your hair, right? And then you get in your car and you go to work. You don't even need to think about how you're getting to work. It's just automatic because you've been doing it so long. That's what we've been doing for some of us many, many years. Because those subconscious beliefs, those patterns were created when you were young, and you've been playing those same things out for your almost your whole entire life. So I want to share a story about a client. And this is something, like I said, I see all the time when women come into my containers. Is that I had a client come to me who was feeling really stuck in her connection, really, really stuck. It felt like no matter what it was that she was doing in her own personal journey, things didn't change. No matter what it was that she was doing in her twin flame connection, nothing was changed. And she was doing all of these things. She was aware of her patterns. She had been awakened for a while. And when I mean a while, like I'm talking like 3 or 4 years prior to meeting her twin flame. And that's common for a lot of people. They awaken prior to their twin flame, and then their twin flame journey actually activates them in a different way. She understood her wounds. She could explain exactly what was being triggered in her, but nothing in her reality was actually shifting. And she didn't understand why. She was seeing other coaches and other healers, and they would say things like, you need to cut cords, you need to call your energy back. And they would tell her like all these things, but they never took her to the depth that I was able to take her. So I asked her something really simple in one of our very first sessions is, what happens at the moment that you get triggered? What is it that you do? And what she shared was she would become aware of the trigger, but she would still spiral. And spiraling for everyone looks a little different. She would spiral. She would still overthink. She would want to reach out. She would want to react emotionally. And then later reflect on it and then understand it. And that's when I told her, this is why nothing is changing. Because her awareness is happening, but the transformation isn't. And I remember her saying to me the depth that I would take her in her sessions, which is why my sessions are 90 minutes. Because in 60 minutes, it's just not enough. It's like we're scratching the surface of something. And I want to take you deep into what it is that you're needing to do and to be that container, that space for you to show up fully, where you can be witnessed, seen, and held by somebody without having to perform, without having to prove anything. And I know for a lot of you, that terrifies you. It terrifies you, but that is the depth that you have to go. That is the depth that you're being called to do. So when we look at the inner work that we're doing, it's just not noticing the patterns after the fact or even in the middle that is important. In order to create transformation, it goes beyond noticing the pattern after the fact. And that's where we start, right? Because we have to start somewhere. To create transformation, you have to notice a pattern in the moment. In the moment when you are being activated, when you are being triggered and poked in the exact place that you need to in order to grow. And so I want you to ask yourself right now, pause this video. What do you do when you're triggered? Say your twin flame triggers you. What is it that you do right there in that moment? Not later when you've calmed down, but in that moment. That is going to tell you everything that you need to know about how you navigate your inner work. I want to talk about one of the biggest reasons why a lot of feminines feel stuck. on their own personal journey and in their twin flame connection. And the reason why is because it's not because they're not doing any work, because it's not that the work that you're doing is wasted. It's not the work that you're doing is, what's the word that I'm looking for? Not good enough. It's just that you didn't know any better until now. And it's because you're staying at the level of the mind when it comes to your inner work. And the mind wants to understand the body is what holds the wounds, holds the traumas, holds the energetic imprints of things that we experience. And that healing requires you to feel. Requires you to feel. It goes beyond the knowing, right? Like the body keeps score. If you haven't read that book, an amazing book to help you understand how your body keeps score. Every cell, every membrane, every muscle, every tendon, every part of your fascia, everything in your body holds trauma. So you can't think your way out of healing. You have to feel your way through it. And if you're a twin flame, the masculine is terrified of his emotions, terrified of feeling, is reflecting back to you that you are the same way. So I want to take you into what it means to go deeper into the work. Because deeper isn't just about going through the understanding of it, right? And I think I talked about that a million times already in this video, but apparently some of you need to hear that more. But it's about choosing differently in the moments when it feels the hardest. So it looks like sitting in discomfort instead of escaping it. How many of you can feel something uncomfortable coming energetically, but you are doing everything to avoid it by eating, by scrolling, by overworking, by going to work out, whatever it is, right? Instead of sitting with that discomfort. The moment that you sit with that discomfort versus trying to suppress it or trying to run from it is when you start shifting the pattern. It's noticing the pattern real time, meaning your twin flame triggers you and you understand at that very moment why you are about to react in the way that you do, that you wanted to. And it's choosing to do something differently. It's choosing yourself when everything in you wants to abandon yourself for your twin. It's staying present in your body. Like think about like one of the examples that wants to come into my mind is, say you're in line at the grocery store. What do? Do you pick up your phone and then you automatically like start scrolling because you're waiting in line, you have downtime? Or are you fully present and connected to your body? It's moments like that that you start to repattern your body differently. You start patterning things to feel safe. Because a lot of feminines don't want to connect to their body because it feels unsafe. By going deeper, it actually means that you're integrating what it is that you've learned. You've learned about yourself in terms of your patterns, and you know that usually you react this way. So in the next time that it shows up in your life, because you're going to get to practice this a lot, you're going to be aware of it and you're going to choose differently. So you're going to respond differently. You're going to take different action steps based on what it is that you've learned. It's navigating your life in your twin flame journey differently. Allowing your soul to lead this connection. Your intuition to lead your healing versus your mind. It looks like reprogramming your subconscious mind around the beliefs that you have, whether that's linked to success, your self-worth, abundance, safety in your body. It's rewriting your subconscious mind, because that's the work that is one of the hardest things for me. I mean, I spent over 40 years living my life unconsciously, And from these patterns, going deeper into the work looks like getting out of survival through nervous system regulation, through breath work. And I know this isn't glamorous. I know doing the inner work isn't always pleasant and it isn't always peaceful. But if you're unwilling to get uncomfortable, then you're going to continue to replay these patterns and cycles. And I will tell you, every time a pattern or cycle would show up back in my life again, it would be just a little bit harder for me to overcome. And it's through that resilience, through that strength that you continue to navigate and push forward, not from force, not from control, not from fear, but from your own personal power, your own personal will. Because when you start doing things, this is what actually changes you. So I want to talk about some ways that the feminine actually is avoiding doing this deep, deep work. Because feminines, you are doing some work, right? And I want to applaud you. I want to give you credit for that. But I want you to go deeper so you can create the transformation in your life that you're truly desiring. And avoidance can look like constantly seeking new information. I am so guilty of this, so guilty of it. Because there's a part of me that doesn't feel like I'm good enough until I have more information or to get it perfect and then I can take action. So where is it that you're constantly seeking new information about the twin flame journey? When you already know everything that you need to know about the journey. And if you need to know more, it will come into your reality at the perfect time. Where is it that you're watching tarot readings instead of sitting with your emotions, trying to understand the masculine's journey versus understanding your own journey? And I know it's so fascinating to understand what it is that the masculine is going through. I've been there. I wanted to know everything, but what I realized was it was a subtle way that I was avoiding doing the inner work, but I was continuing to abandon myself. And now I just look forward to the day that I get to learn about his journey from himself, not from some tarot reading, not from some other twin flame coach or person that's been on the journey, but from him firsthand. Avoiding also looks like trying to figure things out through the mind versus feeling into it. You know, like one of the biggest practices I do when I wake up in the morning is, what do I feel like my body needs right now? How can I connect to myself first before I connect to the rest of the world? Or if you're undecided about what you should do next in your day, you can ask yourself, what feels more aligned right now? Going to go and create YouTube videos or working out? But knowing that after you're done doing the videos, you're going to go work out, or after you're done working out, you're going to go do the videos, right? Like you don't always have to have every step planned out. It's saying I've already done that work when the pattern keeps showing up. And for some of you, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Some of you haven't gone deep enough into the work. And others of you need to realize that you've done the inner work around that pattern, that cycle. And now it's time to act differently in your 3D world. Maybe that's setting up a healthy boundary with yourself. Maybe that's no longer, doing something that you've done your whole entire life. Other ways is staying in spiritual concepts instead of embodiment, because embodied means in body. When the feminine is embodied, she's in her body. Because trust me when I say this, the mind will do anything, and I mean anything, to avoid depth. It loves surface level stuff because depth requires you to let go of who you've been, to let go of the old programming that has allowed you to feel safe. And that safety that you feel is actually safety from survival. And you're here to feel safe, embodied, and thrive in life. So everything begins to shift when you stop asking this question: why is this happening with him? And you start asking yourself, what is this asking me to feel? What is this asking me to face? And what is this asking to shift within me? This is a level of the depth of the work that actually creates transformations. Creates transformation for the feminine on the twin flame path. And this is a kind of the work that I guide you through in my one-on-one sessions, but also through my new community that is launching April 1st. I'm so excited, which is my birthday, by the way. It's called the Rise of the Feminine Twin Flame. It's a beautiful community for the feminine who doesn't want just more information. She wants more embodiment. She wants more nervous system healing. She wants to actually learn how to integrate things at a deeper level. And so if you've been feeling stuck and you feel like you understand your patterns, you understand things, but nothing is changing, then this is the missing piece. Whether you're just starting your journey as a twin flame, or if you've been on this path for a while and you're ready to navigate things differently, there is literally going to be something for everyone. And if you're new to the journey and you want to start somewhere, I encourage you to click on the link in my description and download my free twin flame guide. It's the feminine's path to the feminine's guide to the twin flame path. And it helps you understand this journey. It helps you understand why your soul chose it and how to actually use it the way that's intended, which is for you to shift into and embody the feminine that you're meant to be in this lifetime. Because the twin flame journey doesn't ask you to know more. It's asking you to become someone who you are meant to be in this lifetime. And that only happens when you are willing to go deeper than the mind and go deeper into your body where your truth lies, where those wounds and traumas that you've experienced lie and that want to be held and seen and released. And so if you've gotten something from this video, which I hope you have, I encourage you to like and subscribe to my channel, because each week I'm going to be dropping a new video to help support you on your twin flame journey. And I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I'll connect with you in the next video.